Hello, my name is Father Nick Zummo. I'm a priest of the Diocese of Springfield-Cape Girardeau. I grew up in Springfield, Missouri, and attended St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish. This fall, I will be returning to Mundelein Seminary for further studies, and my degree will be in theology, and my thesis will be on the topic of Mary. I'll be looking into the sources of different Marian traditions and how those came about. So this past summer, I've been assigned at St. Agnes Cathedral in Springfield, Missouri, and I've been helping out around the parish, saying Mass, going to Cox South Hospital, and getting to know the people in the parish here. When I was doing my discernment and thinking about entering the seminary, I decided to join the Diocese of Springfield-Cape Girardeau, mostly because this is where I grew up. My family's from around here, and I've always liked the area, so I wanted to stay close to home and be able to serve in a place where I grew up. So I grew up in Springfield and was involved in the youth group at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish, and went to a lot of conferences and things like that, sort of youth conferences growing up. And as I was going through that process, I had thought about being a priest, but it was an idea that sort of, made me nervous. I didn't really know what to think about it or what that entailed exactly. So I ended up going to college in Rolla, Missouri, and got involved in the Newman Center over there. And as I continued to grow in my faith and meet a lot of good Catholics over there, then I just kept realizing I still had this pull, this draw towards the priesthood, and I was kind of like, I don't know what's behind it exactly. And so the longer I was there, the more it became clear to me that I needed to kind of pursue that direction and see what it was that was exactly stirring on my heartstrings, And so I ended up going to the seminary, and I wasn't exactly sure how long I would be there or what God was calling me to do. And kind of, as you can tell, I found my answer. So everything that I was doing there, just seemed right. Like I met a lot of people that were very supportive, a lot of good friends along the way, and just really enjoyed all of those things as I got to know like what a priest actually does and those types of things. So it's been a great joy. I've been ordained 3 months now, and to be able to say Mass and hear confessions, to visit people in the hospitals, it's been very rewarding. Been a very blessed process, and sometimes I'm just in awe, look what I get to do, One of the most influential people in my process of going through the seminary and becoming a priest was my pastor growing up. Father Tamburro was the pastor at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton for the majority of my time there growing up. And I remember as an altar server, I don't know if I was like 10 or something, pretty young, he said to me in front of my mom, he goes, have you ever thought about being a priest? Me being a little kid and being very quiet, I was like, didn't say anything. Completely didn't know how to respond because I was like, I don't want to disappoint this priest. And, it was kind of funny. And my mom looks down and she goes, you broke him. He doesn't know what to say. And so I think about that sometimes because ever since that point, Father Tom was always very supportive. Anything that I ever needed was there as both as a support and a good example. So he's certainly been someone whose example I've appreciated, whose support was very helpful along the way to becoming a priest. Some of the things that I was looking forward to doing most as a priest and have enjoyed the most as a newly ordained priest is saying Mass and hearing confessions, and then anointing people in the hospital. Spending a long time in the seminary, we always look forward to the day where we get to say Mass as a newly ordained priest. And hearing confessions also, the graces through confession are one of those things that I really appreciated receiving in my own life and receiving that mercy from God. And then it's been very special and something I look forward to be able to offer that as an instrument of God's grace. So it's been very special. It's been very enjoyable to be able to bring those sacraments to the people, to get to say Mass and hear confessions and do anointings and such. One thing that's been a pleasant surprise ever since my days when I began in the seminary was how much I've enjoyed getting to know, people in parishes and the offices and whatnot, and the places that I've been. I really enjoyed this opportunity this past summer at St. Agnes to get to know the people in the office and just to be a part of that community for a short time, but a good time. A couple of extra things that I'd like to mention for the people of the diocese is, one, thank you for those who have supported me throughout this process of becoming a priest, both in their support financially or through prayers, and all of those things that the people have been very generous and very loving in this process. So it's been a great help and a great support in that way. And so, secondly, to ask for your continued prayers going forward, that I'll continue to be ever more conformed to the heart of Christ, to be a good priest for you and the faithful of our diocese.